The MND has made a lot of changes since 2020 on the public information that it is providing. Originally, it was a map that traced each individual or each group's flight path, and we knew where they went specifically, and we knew what type of aircraft. We no longer know that. Sometimes balloons are reported, sometimes balloons are not reported. On top of that, Taiwan stopped releasing images. Originally, you would get an image of this aircraft with its tail number. Now you get file photos. Now there's nothing. We don't get any type of imagery at all. When the Jinmin incident happened, like, you did see some photos of what had happened, but Taiwan is using more computer skills to document the mapping of it, but not showing the actual personal threat that's occurring. As of now, they no longer share those maps on the English webpage. If you go through every single one of them, sometimes the numbers don't match up. And cumulatively over 4 years, it's maybe under 20 aircraft, but on a daily basis, if you're telling two different stories in two different languages, that's a big problem. And I've been very critical of this because you're seeing how the Philippines has responded to this. And while the Philippines has not stopped PRC coercion, it has led to other victories for Manila. We saw the trilateral summit between Philippines, Japan, and the United States. Would that have occurred if the Philippines wasn't sending cameras to film the rammings and the attacks that are occurring in the South China Sea? Again, it's a counterfactual, we'll never know, but there is a greater international pressure by documenting these things as they occurred. And again, they didn't stop it, but it did pressure Beijing to come to the table. It's hard to take, or at least contextualize, a random picture of an aircraft in the clouds compared to what happens in the West Philippine Sea, where vessels are being rammed. So Taiwan has a much more difficult challenge to show that threat, but by changing the information and not being clear about why and sharing less, it makes it seem potentially as the threat is not as significant. When this was first happening, had a lot of goodwill and a lot of media coverage of this, but at least in the United States, it's not really considered a big deal anymore because we don't know what's happening. So I'd really push for the MND to reconsider what information that it's sharing. There are a lot of people around the world who've made these complaints. Outside of government, I'm guessing similar inside of government as well, and there are people in Taiwan making these complaints too. So it seems like, at least in the research community, there is a united voice. We all have specific disagreements about what should be shared and how, but the spirit of our spirits of our complaints are the same, is that the information has gotten less and it's gotten worse.